Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started. Good luck. What is the purpose of Amazon Fraud Detector's risk threshold setting? To determine the cutoff for flagging events as potentially fraudulent. To limit the size of data files. To encrypt data at rest. To manage user session times. The purpose of the risk threshold setting in Amazon Fraud Detector is to determine the cutoff point for flagging events as potentially fraudulent. What does the term false positive refer to in Amazon Fraud Detector? A missing data point. An encrypted data field. A legitimate transaction. An event incorrectly flagged as fraudulent. A false positive in Amazon Fraud Detector refers to an event that is incorrectly flagged as fraudulent when it is actually legitimate. Which machine learning framework does Amazon Fraud Detector leverage? Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Amazon SageMaker. Amazon Fraud Detector leverages Amazon SageMaker for its machine learning models to detect fraudulent activities. How does Amazon Fraud Detector integrate with AWS IAM? To compress data. To encrypt event data. To store large files. To manage access and permissions. Amazon Fraud Detector integrates with AWS IAM to manage access and permissions for users and services. What role do rules play in Amazon Fraud Detector? They define conditions to flag potentially fraudulent activity. They manage user permissions. They compress event data for faster processing. They store raw event data. Rules in Amazon Fraud Detector define conditions under which an event should be flagged as potentially fraudulent. What type of machine learning model is commonly used in Amazon Fraud Detector? Image recognition models. Binary classification models. Generative models. Speech-to-text models. Binary classification models are commonly used in Amazon Fraud Detector to determine whether an event is likely to be fraudulent or legitimate. How does Amazon Fraud Detector support compliance? By providing detailed logs and audit trails. By encrypting data at rest only. By requiring multi-factor authentication. By offering physical security features. Amazon Fraud Detector supports compliance by providing detailed logs and audit trails of fraud detection activities. What benefit does Amazon Fraud Detector offer in terms of deployment? Lengthy manual configuration. Ease of integration and quick deployment. Only supports offline processing. Requires specialized hardware. Amazon Fraud Detector offers ease of integration and quick deployment, allowing businesses to implement fraud detection measures rapidly. What is the advantage of using Amazon Fraud Detector over traditional methods? Offline processing. Automated, real-time detection. Static rule sets. Manual review process. Amazon Fraud Detector provides automated, real-time detection of fraud, which is more efficient than traditional, manual methods. What is the typical output of an Amazon Fraud Detector evaluation? A fraud score. A video stream. A compressed data file. An encrypted message. The typical output of an Amazon Fraud Detector evaluation is a fraud score indicating the likelihood of fraud. What is the role of Amazon Fraud Detector in e-commerce? To prevent fraudulent transactions. To handle customer support. To manage product inventory. To optimize website performance. In e-commerce, Amazon Fraud Detector helps prevent fraudulent transactions by evaluating the risk of each transaction. What is a label in Amazon Fraud Detector? A type of encryption method. An outcome associated with an event. A data compression technique. A network protocol. A label in Amazon Fraud Detector is an outcome associated with an event, such as fraudulent or legitimate. Which Amazon Fraud Detector component helps define which events should be evaluated? Data lakes. Network subnets. Event types. Virtual machines. Event types in Amazon Fraud Detector help define which events should be evaluated for potential fraud. What is a key benefit of using Amazon Fraud Detector for fraud detection? Manual data entry. Scalability and real-time analysis. Complex hardware requirements. Slow processing times. A key benefit of using Amazon Fraud Detector is its scalability and ability to perform real-time fraud analysis, providing timely and accurate results. What kind of feedback loop can Amazon Fraud Detector create? A feedback loop based on encrypted data only. A feedback loop that compresses data. A static feedback loop with no changes. A continuous improvement loop using analyst feedback. Amazon Fraud Detector can create a continuous improvement loop using feedback from fraud analysts to refine and improve models. What does the variable fraud prediction indicate in Amazon Fraud Detector? The data storage location. The likelihood of an event being fraudulent. The time when the event was recorded. The type of data being processed. The variable fraud prediction indicates the likelihood that a particular event is fraudulent. What is the benefit of real-time fraud detection alerts in Amazon Fraud Detector? Immediate response to suspicious activities. Increased storage capacity. Lowered data transfer costs. Simplified user interface. Real-time fraud detection alerts in Amazon Fraud Detector allow for immediate response to suspicious activities, reducing potential losses. How does Amazon Fraud Detector handle false positives? By increasing data storage. By ignoring them. By encrypting the data. By allowing model adjustments and feedback incorporation. Amazon Fraud Detector handles false positives by allowing model adjustments and incorporating feedback to improve accuracy over time. What kind of events can Amazon Fraud Detector analyze? Genomic data, audio recordings, video streaming, online transactions. Amazon Fraud Detector can analyze online transactions and other related events to detect potential fraud. What does the Amazon Fraud Detector feature rules engine do? Manages network traffic. Evaluates events against predefined conditions. Stores event data. Encrypts data at rest. The rules engine in Amazon Fraud Detector evaluates events against predefined conditions to identify potential fraud. How does Amazon Fraud Detector improve over time? By increasing storage capacity. By lowering subscription costs. By continuously learning from new data and feedback. By reducing network latency. Amazon Fraud Detector improves over time by continuously learning from new data and feedback, enhancing its ability to detect fraud. How does Amazon Fraud Detector use labels? To manage user access. To tag events with outcomes such as fraudulent or legitimate. To compress data files. To encrypt sensitive information. Amazon Fraud Detector uses labels to tag events with outcomes such as fraudulent or legitimate, helping in training and evaluating models. Which programming language is commonly used for creating rules in Amazon Fraud Detector? C++, Java, Swift, Python. Python is commonly used for creating and managing rules in Amazon Fraud Detector due to its simplicity and versatility. What is a detector version in Amazon Fraud Detector? A historical log of fraud events. A backup of the detector data. A specific configuration of a detector including rules and models. A data schema format. A detector version is a specific configuration of a detector, including the rules and models used to evaluate events. What type of analysis does Amazon Fraud Detector provide? Geospatial analysis for mapping. Image analysis for recognition. Text analysis for sentiment. Predictive analysis for fraud detection. Amazon Fraud Detector provides predictive analysis for detecting fraudulent activities based on historical data and machine learning models. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and, if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.